92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
The actual date that happened in today's second date update is probably one of the biggest train wrecks I've ever heard of.
Really?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Lucas, I read your email, and it sounds like you had an awesome time with the girl that you want us to call today.
Yeah, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't ideal.
Oh, no.
Explain to everybody what not ideal is. Was it the first part where the tears happened, or the rest of it where the funeral happened?
No, stop.
No,
Stop.
it wasn't a funeral. It was a cemetery.
Oh, my bad.
So,
That's not better.
Tell everybody about your date. First of all, how'd you meet this girl?
I met Avery. Her name's Avery. I met her through a friend of a friend,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
and I picked her up at her place. And she got in the car, and I could sort of tell. I mean, I don't really know her that well, but I could sort of tell that something wasn't right. So I asked her, are you okay? And she started crying right there. I mean, she was talking about she had something with her family, her parents, and she was really upset.
At
So,
that point, Lucas, why didn't you just go, you know what? Maybe we'll do this date another time, and I'll take you back home so you can deal with whatever you got going on.
I mean, I thought about it, but, in that moment, I was just like, maybe she just needs someone to talk to.
Thank
All right.
goodness.
Or you
because
saw a moment
what?
of weakness and you were like, yeah, all right.
Get on
I know
shoulder,
how
baby
this is
girl.
going to end.
You guys, he's just trying to be a nice guy. You can't drop a crying girl off at her house just to let her cry by herself.
Yeah, she just seemed like she needed to get a lot of stuff off her chest,
So what was
Yeah.
wrong? Did you figure out what was going on?
I mean, just something with her parents. She had gotten a big argument with them about, she said, her life choices, I guess.
Whoa.
And eventually the conversation got into her childhood, and
Oh, gosh.
it got pretty deep.
Yeah, see, at that point, I think you should have maybe ended the date. But I can't even believe your next step.
Oh, no.
Lucas took her to a cemetery.
What?
Why? What?
Why would you take a crying
Well,
girl
look,
to...
okay, hold on. Because in my mind, I was thinking, we definitely can't go to a restaurant at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she was full-on ugly crying kind of
Yeah.
the circumstance.
Good for you for sticking with it, though, Lucas. Lucas, it's impressive that you've even able to stick with it this
Yeah.
long. If that happened to me 5 seconds, I'd be out, dude.
God, you could at least take her to ice cream to cheer her up. How did you get to a cemetery, dude?
I was like, we gotta go somewhere. That it's not going to be ridiculous that she's crying so much. So we happened to drive by a cemetery, and I thought, in that split second, I was like, this is the perfect spot.
That is. Yes.
I suppose.
Look, it's quiet, it's private. There's not a lot of people. So yeah. In that moment, I thought it was the best choice.
What
Plus,
did
you can always use the perspective of, hey, things could be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be dead.
Look at that guy, and that person over there.
What did you say to her?
I mean, I was like, look, this is just a quiet place where you can just do your venting, and and I'll just listen. And
Okay.
Uh-huh.
she was really being open about all this stuff about her family. And weirdly enough, I thought that there was a connection.
Is this your new thing now, Lucas? You're going to start taking people on cemetery dates? It worked out so well for you?
It'll be a thing, yeah.
All right. How did everything end with her?
I sort of, after all this stuff she'd been revealing, I felt kind of closer to her. And so I put my arm around her, and we walked to the car. And then, I thought it would be an okay moment to try to kiss her.
Oh.
After all that?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That is a bad choice on so many levels, Lucas.
That's coming from Jubal.
Yeah.
Look, looking back at it now, obviously it wasn't the best decision.
She just poured her heart out to you about some family issues she's having. She's been crying, and you're in the middle of a cemetery. Not the best time to make a move.
She had calmed down a little bit, and like I said, the things that she had been telling me, I feel like we had gotten close in a couple hours that she'd been telling me all this stuff.
I think I would have kissed him if I was the girl in that moment. I mean,
Really?
yeah, you feel super connected to someone like that.
I think
And
it's
you're-
called vulnerable.
Yeah.
Vulnerable.
Yeah, and you're vulnerable, and
Sad.
you have everything opened up
Well,
to him.
she definitely wasn't having it. She
there
definitely
we
pulled back, and I did not. It was not a smart move on my part.
You said she wasn't into it. What did she say when you tried to kiss her?
She sort of stepped back and was like, you want to kiss me in a cemetery? She basically just wanted to go home at that point.
And you still want to call her for a second date update.
Ballsy.
Like I said, I felt by the end, even though she wasn't receptive to the kiss, that there was some sort of connection there.
Well, she obviously trusted you. She told you all that
Totally.
stuff about her like childhood and stuff.
Or she's crazy. Well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, okay?
Great. Thanks,
I'm
guys.
excited about this one.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
After the first date that you had, Lucas, I still can't believe that you want to call this girl and do a second date update. You're sure you want to go through with this?
Yes, I'm definitely sure, yeah.
If you missed the first part of the second date update, Lucas took this girl Avery out. He met through friends. Soon as they started driving to go to dinner on their date, she broke down in tears because of some stuff that was going on with her family. That wasn't enough to scare Lucas away, so he decided, you know what, we can't go to dinner. This is going to be awkward now. I'm going to stop at the best place possible, a cemetery,
Yeah.
and walk around the cemetery and let her spill her guts there. I know is the only option you had, Lucas. And then when Lucas tried to kiss her at the end of the night, she pushed him away. I was like, you want to kiss me in a cemetery? I don't think so. I never asked you, Lucas, how many times have you tried to get a hold of her?
It's been a week now. The text I sent, she just hasn't responded back to at all.
Just nothing?
She hasn't
Yeah.
apologized profusely and said, "Oh my God, I came across as a crazy nut job. Let's do this again."
No, I haven't heard from her at all.
And honestly, you still find her super attractive.
I do, yes, I do.
Okay.
Sometimes crazy can be hot. I'm not going to lie.
Seriously, though.
All right.
All right, Lucas. Well, we're going to give her a call right now, see if we can get her on the phone, okay?
All right, great.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Avery, please?
this is Avery.
Hey, Avery, this is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5. How are you? You got a second?
From where?
Moving 92.5, Brooke and Jubal in the morning. We do a morning show from 6 to 10 every weekday.
Okay. Why are you calling me?
Well, I'm calling you because you recently went out on a date with a friend of the show, and he thinks that you're avoiding him and don't want to go out on another date with him, so he asked us to call you and find out if you did something wrong on your date.
Oh, okay.
I guarantee you remember this little date that you went on. It should be pretty memorable.
I mean, not to be weird, but I've been on a couple dates recently. Can you tell me his name?
What would be the only date that you went on to a cemetery?
Oh my gosh.
It's Lucas.
Oh.
Did you not like Lucas?
So he told you about the cemetery. How much did he tell you about this date?
Oh.
He just, kind of told us there was a weird moment after he picked you up where you were having some personal stuff going on and got kind of upset, and then he decided to stop at the only place that he could find where he thought you two could talk quietly, which was a cemetery. He did say that he tried to kiss you at the end of the evening, and you shunned his advances because it was weird to try to make out with you in a cemetery. Yeah. Is that what did it?
I was going through a lot that day, as you know already, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though I was clearly, horrible and weird, he was really a little weird. I'm sorry, but...
Really?
He was the weird one in this whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, he said some stuff that I think he was trying to make me feel better, but it wasn't really working.
Can you give us an example of something that he said?
Well, I mean, did he tell you, what we did in the cemetery?
He just said that you guys walked around and talked, and he kind of let you vent whatever you were feeling.
There's more activities that you can do in a cemetery.
I guess. I had no idea.
Oh, no.
No. I mean, that was it. But while we were walking around, he would occasionally, stop in front of headstones and be like, "Oh, isn't it sweet, all these husbands and wives buried together?"
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's creepy.
That is super creepy.
I thought it was going to be he stole the flowers and gave them to you, but that's even worse.
Yeah.
That happened too.
Oh,
He did that?
What?
no.
He pulled a flower off a grave and handed it to me and said, "Here, this will cheer you up." And I was like, "This is a dead person's flower." And he said, "They won't miss it."
I'm so confused on who to think is crazy.
I know.
This one. I
It's-
just don't know.
At first, I was like, Lucas, are you sure you want to call Avery? Now I'm like, these two are a perfect couple.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, I know that he was trying, to lighten the mood, but we were in a cemetery. I was clearly having a meltdown. And his solution was to pull flowers off graves and say things like, "We'll all be dead soon, even your parents."
Oh,
my
wow.
God.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Up until that point, I was
definitely
like,
have a history with my parents. but
Yeah.
I don't wish them dead.
up
Yeah.
until that point, I was like, all right, well, it's kind of cool. He's trying to lighten the mood and maybe help you laugh and get through your stuff. But then going like, hey, don't worry about anything you're having at home with your parents. They'll be dead soon.
Oh, that's not
That usually doesn't
sensitive.
play well.
No.
Like I said, I totally will be the first to say that I was in a really bad space and probably should have canceled. But, ultimately I'm looking for someone, a partner in life, and I don't think I want to be a partner with someone who's kind of weird.
And maybe someone who's not already hoping that your parents die.
Yeah, that could be a bonus.
I should actually tell you that Lucas is on the other line right now and just heard your recap of the date.
Oh God, no.
Hey, Avery.
oh,
Oh, jeez.
you poor thing.
Look, I had no idea how to react. I mean, you were obviously really upset. So I was just trying to do anything to take your mind off of it or lighten the moment. I don't actually want
Well,
your
I mean,
parents to be
it
dead.
kind of took my mind off it, but not in the right direction.
I didn't. I was improvising. I've never been in a situation like this before. So I was just trying to find any way that I could possibly get your mind off of things. That's all that was.
I mean, you could kind of understand that, right, Avery?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that I was doing a good job on a date either. I was doing a very bad job for a date. But I feel like if this is your go-to response to say, "Oh, your parents will be dead soon," and you put flowers on graves, like that's bad.
Look,
That's a bad solution.
okay, it was obviously a terrible, bad attempt at a joke. But the only reason I said it was just to try to get your mind off of things, change the subject. I wasn't, not thinking that clearly either.
It sounds to me like you two are perfect for each other. I'm not going to lie.
It's an off day
Yeah.
for both of you.
It just
Very
maybe it was one of those days you should have turned the car around and had the date on a different day.
Well, yeah, like I said, I should have called it off from the get-go. And I know that so many people encountering like a total meltdown would just run away, and I get that. And Lucas, I'm really grateful for you to just like sticking it out. And
See-
I mean, though you were kind of a idiot, I mean, I know it was a good intentioned idiot.
See, at least Lucas was trying, and he liked you enough to try to get a second date with you on a radio
Yeah, that's the other thing
show.
that's kind of weirding me out, I'll be honest. Like, I wouldn't want a second date with me after that. I was awful.
But Lucas still wants to go out with you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just thought, you're being really honest, and I think you're still pretty great. I know it wasn't ideal this first time around, but I like you.
Oh,
See, that should say a little something, Avery, don't you think?
that's really
Because honestly,
nice.
Avery, if I picked you up and you started bawling like that, I would have left you by the side of the road. So why don't you give Lucas another chance? We will pay for a second date. Will you go out with Lucas again?
Oh, come on.
I mean, I guess it can't be any worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Positive
Go
attitude.
uphill.
It's just like we tell everybody with the show, set your standards low and you'll like us if you just listen.
I mean, and if that's kind of our worst, and we still manage to be cordial, nice people, then maybe we could do better. I don't know. Just please, no creepy jokes, okay?
No more creepy jokes and no more cemeteries.
Awesome.
Yes.
Congratulations, Lucas. You got your second date.
Great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your help.
You're welcome. And Avery, I hope that you have a great time, and I hope that everything that you were worried about on your last date is okay now and you're in a better place personally.
Great. Thank you, guys.
I mean, I say that, but I kind of hope you cry again just so we can
Oh,
have
come
Lucas call
on.
back in and do another second date.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
All I need's a little love in my life.
Amy, are you a know-it-all?
No, why?
Okay, because I think that might be your problem. If you're just tuning in for the second date, Amy met this guy named Bryce. They were getting their oil changed. And she pointed out when we were talking to her about that she normally likes to change her own oil. Mm-hmm. And then the two of them went out to like a painting thing that they were doing at a bar. And then she talked about his art and said, he actually did a really good job. Are you a one-upper, Amy?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. You sound a little bit like a one-upper to me. Like we're going to get him on the phone for the second date, and he's going to answer, and you're just going to come on and be like, my cell phone reception is better than yours.
No.
You're not going to do that, are you?
No, I promise I won't do that.
Okay.
You're kind of self-conscious, though, thinking about how your date went now, aren't you?
Right?
Yeah, you guys, I'm freaking out.
Again, Amy went out with this dude. He hasn't called her in a couple weeks. She's tried reaching out to him, and he hasn't responded at all. So we're about to get him on the phone and find out why. Is there anything else going through your mind that could be a possible reason why he's not calling you back?
No, I'm really nervous now, though.
Yeah, well,
I'm more nervous than you are.
Oh, you're one-upping her. I see what you're doing.
All right, I'm going to
That
dial
was a one-upper.
I'm going to dial this phone number right now, okay?
Okay.
Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, is this Bryce?
It is. Who is this?
Hey, Bryce, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. It's a radio show.
I don't get calls from radio shows very often.
Yeah, I know it could be kind of weird. Listen, I'm calling you because one of our listeners actually sent us an email about you and asked if we could track you down. You have any idea who I could be talking about?
No.
Do you remember going on a date with a girl named Amy?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, Amy emailed us and said that she had a really good time on your date, but it's been about 2 weeks now and you're not calling her back. So she asked if we could get you on the phone and find out if something went wrong.
I really don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it at all?
No, I'm good.
Just like 2 minutes.
I don't know about that.
She described the date to us, and it sounded like everything went fabulously.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you call her back?
This is so uncomfortable. Look, this is really awkward.
She described the date to us, and there wasn't an awkward moment that she could think of from your date. And she said that at the end of it, you kind of...
not.
Say that one more time?
I imagine not.
Okay, so was there an awkward moment, or wasn't there an awkward moment?
I wouldn't call it exactly awkward, but there definitely was a moment that I just did not like.
Whoa.
What happened?
Okay, I'll tell you. We went to this drawing thing. We did this, drew pictures and made like a flip book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she told us about that. She actually said that you did a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, she told me that. She came up to me after and said, "Wow, good job." And she went in for a high five.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't expecting that level of force.
Okay.
So she high-fived you really hard?
Bottom line, my arm is in quite a bit of pain still.
From a high five?
Yeah. I haven't really been to see a doctor yet, but I'm starting to get worried. My arm's in a sling right now. It really hurts still.
Oh my God.
Are you saying that she injured you with a high five?
Well, it may sound funny to you, but I had shooting pain up and down my arm for the rest of the time we were in there, and she wanted to go out and get drinks after, and I told her I had work the next morning, so I left and went straight to the pharmacy and got a sling for my arm.
Really? Your arm is in a sling because she high-fived you so hard.
Yeah, and it still hurts. I don't know if there's nerve damage or what. But
Jeez.
she's a nice person, but she's super aggressive, and that was a little too much for me.
Wait, so
High-five the
you're
Incredible Hulk or something?
you're intimidated by her because of her high-fiving injuring your arm?
I'm not intimidated by her. She injured me. My arm hurts.
I'm just imagining her like pulling her arm back and hitting you so hard on your head. Like I
Yeah,
can't.
exactly. It takes a lot to hurt someone with a high five, and she did it.
All right, so you don't want to go out with her again because you don't want to risk any more bodily harm. Is that what I'm getting?
I'm pretty much leaning towards a no.
Okay. Well, you know what, Bryce? Maybe she can change your mind because she's actually on the other line listening to this and wants to talk to you.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is. Amy, Bruiser, you there?
Bruiser.
Hi.
You big meathead?
No
you
kidding.
hurt Bryce.
I can't believe this. You're not calling me back because I high-fived you too hard? It hurt.
Oh.
It was so aggressive. I'm not into that.
Amy, can I ask, do you try to come off as maybe a little bit harder than you are? Or tougher?
Maybe because I'm so little. I'm 5'3" and 115 pounds. Like, what do you have, like bird bones?
Where does that even come from? You were joking like this on the date the whole time, too. And that kind of bothered me, too. You hurt my arm.
I barely high-fived you. That wasn't even, like, my most emphatic high five.
Are you threatening him now, Amy?
No.
Do you feel bad?
I mean, I do feel bad, but I just can't believe this situation. Like, I would have never, in my wildest dreams, have thought that this is why you weren't calling me back.
You're super aggressive, and you got to warn someone when you're going to go in for a high five like that. Some kind of heads up.
What else did I warn them about? Like, if you need a warning for a high five, like, how are you going to get through your day, man?
I don't really know what else to say here. You hurt me, and you're not even apologizing for it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, you little baby. I'm sorry I hurt your little wrist.
That's helping. That's helping a lot.
Oh, you little baby. Do you want an apology? I'm sorry.
Stop bullying me. My arm hurts right now. What do you expect?
If your arm hurts so much, why didn't you come to the doctor in 2 weeks?
I really wanted to believe that it wasn't that big of a deal, but it still hurt.
You did some serious damage.
Hey, Bryce, would you like to go out with Amy again on a second date? We'll pay for it.
No. I don't forget it.
You don't want to go out with him now?
No.
You're being kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If I went on one date with a guy and my high five was too strong for him, do you think that I want to go out with him again? Like, do you really think I should go out with him again? I don't think so.
It was just like the mocking, it seems like a little bit.
Oh my God, get over it. You guys are being such wusses.
I'm with you, Amy. I'm fine. If you go out on a date and they can't handle a little good-spirited bullying, I wouldn't want to go out with them either. So, Bryce, I'm assuming you're not into going out with Amy one more time?
Definitely not. No,
Okay.
I'm really okay.
All right.
Go get my arm
Yeah,
checked
well,
out
I'm
now.
okay
Thanks.
too, Bryce.
Bryce, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. You go put some ice on that arm, okay?
Will do.
Amy, thank you for your email. I'm sorry you didn't get a second date.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just looking for a real man, so if one wanders into the radio station, call me.
All right. Well, Amy, I will find you a guy who loves a little physical abuse. All right? There are some out there for sure.
Gosh, that's messed up.
The best way to break the ice with somebody is to get lubed up together.
Whoa.
Isn't
Okay,
that-
This is already.
Isn't that right, Amy?
It is. It is indeed.
It is. Yeah. Amy got lubed up with the guy that she went out on a date with. His name is Bryce, and I guess they met while they were getting their oil change for their car.
Oh, thank God.
So did you guys meet like in the waiting room while you're getting your oil changed? Is that what happened?
Yeah, it was like a movie, like a really low-budget movie about two people getting their oil changed.
You're really lucky. I'm always like stuck in there with some old dude that loves the popcorn too much.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, I actually usually change my own oil, but I had a really busy week that week, and so I was like, all right, like lap of luxury, I'll go have someone do it for me.
Whoa.
All right. How'd you guys strike up a conversation?
Oh, I kind of like noticed him looking at me, and when you're the only two people in a waiting room, it was like first thing in the morning, so there weren't like a ton of people, and I don't know, it's just like a friendly vibe. So we started talking, and I thought he was really cute and like easygoing, and like the guy who like didn't know a lot about cars, but was like he was kind of trying. Like I like cars. My dad taught me about them, and I was kind of like giving him a hard time.
So you're basically just emasculating him, being like, you don't know what you're saying. I changed my own oil. I'm only here because I didn't have time today. What about you, chump?
No, I was really nice about it.
I would think that would be really attractive to a male, like a girl who is really hands-on and mechanical.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like he was into it because we actually went on a date from there.
Like, straight from the oil change place?
Well, no, but like we gave each other phone numbers and went out like 2 days later.
Nice.
Okay, I thought you just left straight from there.
Yeah.
Went to like a Denny's or something.
Yeah.
Hey, after getting the oil change, I like to wash it down with some sausage from Denny's. All right, so what'd you guys do on your date?
So I have a couple different hobbies, and we were talking on the phone. We weren't sure what to do, so I take this painting class on Thursday nights, and it's really cool. It's like a painting, but also like that night was like stop motion night. I don't know. It's great. So you like do all these drawings where they move incrementally. So at the end you get like a flip book.
Cool.
It's cool. I know I sound like a dork, but it's cool.
And so, I mean, he knew that that's what he was going to. He was excited about going to this class with you?
Yeah, I was like, I know this is super nerdy, but it's actually really fun.
I would have just gone off board and made like a pervy flip book for you to look at.
Yeah, actually, this was pretty good.
Really?
Okay.
All right. So he impressed you with his artistic skills?
He did indeed. His sensitivity and his artistic skills. He showed me what he's working on at the end of class, and it was really good for a first-timer. And I thought we were having a fun time. So after the class, I was like, do you want to go get a drink, something really low-key? And he said he had to get up early. And I think I, ribbed him a little bit about that. I, called him a party pooper or something.
How early in the evening was this?
It was 9 p.m. It was borderline. So
That's pretty late for a weeknight, I feel like.
I don't think so. I think 9 p.m. is early for a weeknight.
Yeah, because you sleep 2 hours a night. You are
Yeah.
not one that gets to judge how much sleep people actually need.
But we get up to do a morning show. Like, if you're getting up at 8, 9 in the morning to go to work, 9 o'clock is not necessary. That's kind of turning in early, I would think. Maybe not.
no judgment, first date. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm, boundaries. I'm a modern girl.
So how did you guys end things? Did he make any plans with you to see you in the future?
We, talked about it. He walked me in my car, and we had a quick kiss, and he said he would call me, and he hasn't. And it's been a couple weeks, and I reached out to him once, and then I just, left it alone. Because I didn't want to, overdo it.
Why do you think he's not calling you back?
I wondered if either maybe I ribbed him too much, or I don't know. Some guys, they don't like women who are on top of their game. I have hobbies, I have a life. I changed my own oil.
Yeah. I've always been unattracted to girls with hobbies and lives because they want you to be involved in their stuff, and then it's like, oh, God, I only want to worry about myself, So I can understand that.
No, come on.
No.
I mean, if that was the case, you wouldn't want to go out with him again.
No, and I don't think that's the case. And I just really liked him, and I thought maybe it's a little weird to have a radio station call somebody, but you guys are so cool, and I listen all the time, and I just thought, hey, it's worth it. If it doesn't work out, that's okay. But I am curious.
Well, we'll play a song, come back, call him, and find out if you got a second date or if you got ditched.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Hang on.
Is it possible to have a long-distance relationship while being in the same room as someone?
That's a really funny way to put what happened.
I mean, I'd say Brooke's about 6 feet away from me right now. Brooke, are you feeling what I'm feeling?
I'm not.
You don't even know what I'm feeling.
I just know that I'm not.
I'm feeling a little bit weird. Maybe a little bit drunk, too.
Okay,
But
maybe I am.
Maybe,
Yeah,
okay.
you're right. You're right.
All right, there's something there. But one of our listeners, Josh, told us he went to the movies with a woman named Renee, and she had some of the most extreme rules and conditions anyone could possibly put forward for a first date. Because she said they were going to meet in the lobby, talk for a few minutes while eating snacks, and then they could go into the movie, but they had to sit on opposite ends of the theater so that they wouldn't have any physical contact, because we all know kissing out of wedlock is a sin, and if you do it, you go to H-E double bendy straws.
Stop it. And she never said that was why. She just said that it was part of her rules.
She said she wanted no physical contact.
But it could have been something else. It could have been
I don't know. I think it's a game, or she really doesn't like
Well, after the film was over, she said if they felt a connection, they could meet up again in the middle of the seats and then go out for a drink. That was the agreement. And Josh was okay with that. The movie happened, lights came on, and Renee walked out. No explanation for why.
And sitting waiting for her to decide through all the credits even.
Oh.
And Josh, you guys barely hung out before, right? Like, how long were you together in the lobby before?
Couldn't have been longer than 15 minutes.
See? So what could he have done in that time?
Have you tried to call Renee?
Yeah, I've texted her and tried to call her, and I haven't gotten any responses.
Oh my God. I'm really impressed that, like, as she's walking out, you didn't just scream, why?
Well, you have that opportunity now after you hear what she says, because we're about to call her. You ready to do this, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm nervous. It's like I'm back in the movie theater all over again.
This won't be that brutal. It won't be that brutal.
Okay, well,
I hope.
let's dim the lights down like it's in the movies. And we're going to call her right now. Here we go.
Watch your hands.
Hey.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Renee, please?
May I ask who's calling?
Yeah, my name's Jeffrey from the radio show Brooke and Jeffrey in the Morning.
Who are you?
Wow, you really know how to
Every
hurt.
time.
But my name's Jeffrey. I work on a morning radio show called Brooke and Jeffrey in the Morning. The whole crew is here. Brooke,
Renee.
Jose,
Hi.
Alexis. Yep.
Okay, Renee, cool.
So, I'm calling you today because we're doing something called a second date. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
Okay. Well, it's a segment that we do on our show. And basically the idea is if you go out on a date with someone and afterwards, if they're not calling you back, you can email us and we'll reach out to that person for you to try and help you figure out the reason why.
Okay. I guess I don't know why you're calling me.
Well, we're calling you because a guy reached out to us. His name is Josh.
Oh.
That's not a positive response when we said Josh.
Yeah.
I take it you remember him?
Yeah, I went on a date with him. It didn't lead to anything. That's pretty much
Well,
the long and short of it.
Josh told us all about your date, and I have to be honest, it's one of the weirdest first dates we've ever heard on our show before.
I mean, that's your opinion. I just got out of like a really tough relationship, and I do have like conditions now because there's a lot of thirsty guys out there, and I'm not about that life. So
I think that's fine. But can I ask, like, what's the point of sitting on opposite sides of the movie theater? Because he told us about that. Like, how do you ever get to know anyone if you don't spend any time with them on a date?
I mean, we spent the 15 minutes together. Like, you know, he was a gentleman. He bought popcorn. Like,
Okay, so before the movie, you had a good interaction with him.
yeah, I mean, like, I really wasn't sure if there was a connection. We talked. It was fine. And then he agreed to my conditions, which I thought was, like, a good sign. But then, I don't know, like, it just didn't really work out. And, like, you guys don't have to agree with me on my conditions. That's just, like, how I feel. Like, that's just how I feel comfortable. And he agreed to it, so there shouldn't be an issue.
No, that's fine. Like, I'm not judging you on your condition. It was just unusual. We've never heard of it before. It's just why, after he went through with all of it, I don't think a lot of guys would have gone through that.
No.
Why would you walk out without even saying anything to him?
Well, I mean, I wasn't exactly alone in the movie theater.
What do you mean? Like, other people were watching the movie with you?
Yeah.
Because it's a public movie theater.
I mean, obviously, Josh was in the theater too, so it couldn't have just been you.
That's not what I mean. My brother was there at the movie too, actually.
Oh, no.
Did you invite him?
You set up a spy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because, like I said, I was in a really rough relationship and just, like, don't want to get hurt like that again.
Okay.
And my brother sat right behind Josh, and
saw Josh texting and flirting with another woman during our date.
Oh, no.
What?
Yeah, but okay,
Hold
wait.
on. Hold on.
How? One, how did your brother see that? And two, you guys aren't exclusive. You've gone on one date and you spent 15 minutes with a man. What, you want him to stop talking to all other women?
During the movie, I just think that's super disrespectful and
Yeah.
classless. You don't text another woman,
Mid-date. I mean, the thing is, mid-date, it's a...
know.
Oh, really, Brooke?
It wasn't
Really?
even barely
I
a
don't
date.
know.
I think texting in the movie theater is rude. Period.
Yeah.
But
Do you know what the
that's
text...
weird, man.
What did the text say?
They were just super flirty to some girl named Andrea, and I was like, you can't refrain from texting other women for an hour and a half. That's just kind of really shady and gross to me, so I'm not going to deal with that. That's why I walked out.
I mean, it sounds like you got really hurt, and this past dude, your ex, really scarred you. But just because he's texting with another person while you're in the same movie theater, I mean, it's not even really a date you guys are on at that point.
Yeah, Brooke supports cheating. It's okay.
That's not true.
It's okay. Sleep around with whoever you want, whenever you want. But you know who I want to know? I want to know what Josh thinks about all this. Josh?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to tell you. Sorry, Renee. Josh has been on the other line listening. He wants to talk to you.
Fired up.
Well, I think it's rude. But Josh, what do you think?
I do not know how to process this right now.
Is it true? Is it true?
It's kind of true.
Okay.
That means it's true.
So wait, did you notice some dude sitting behind you looking over your shoulder?
No. I mean, to be honest, I was pretty fixated on you, Renee, for most of that movie.
See?
In between texts?
Hey, hold
I'm a little
on.
confused.
He's not lying. He literally said you only turned maybe once. You almost never looked at him, and he knew the exact moment you left. His eyes were on you, majority.
Yeah.
Not when he was
One
texting
text.
Andrea, so I just want to know who Andrea is. Don't deny it because I have screenshots.
Okay.
What?
Damn.
It was just one text to my friend, Andrea, and I had been talking with her about this date before I went on it, and she asked me how the date was going halfway through, and I told her.
I already know that's a lie because I have multiple screenshots of multiple texts, and you send your friends who are girls kissy faces and winky faces and eggplant emojis. No, I don't think so. So,
Dude, that is so weird.
Oh,
I mean,
now
Josh,
it's weird, Brooke.
No, not Josh. Hers. Your brother is screen grabbing
okay.
somebody else's cell phone. You can't spy on people during a date. I mean, Josh, are you upset or not?
Yeah. I mean, that's super invasive. I think that your brother's not...
you shouldn't be texting other women during a date. I think that's really crazy.
Well, you were sitting on the other side of the
agree to
theater, so what am I supposed to do, twiddle my thumbs and wait for you to come over and sweep me off my feet?
What?
I mean, Josh, just be honest with me. Did you meet this Andrea girl on the same dating site you met me?
Yes.
Oh!
But we went on one date, and we immediately were like, there's no connection. Wasn't romantic. And then we went out a couple more times as friends.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Too much for me here.
I just still think that's weird that you texted her during our date. That just makes me feel like if you're willing to do that, then you'd be willing to cheat on me. So,
Yeah.
This is so tough.
I can't believe we're not concentrating on the spy brother more.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Well,
know
I'm
what to
focused
say.
on Renee and her feelings. Specifically, Renee, if you feel like going out on one more date with Josh, because we'll pay for it. I have to ask that. I'm so sorry that I'm obligated to ask you if you'd like to see him again.
I think probably not. I already don't trust this person, so it's kind of a moot point to go out again.
Oh, Renee.
Josh, what do you feel?
I am glad that I don't have to be watched again. I don't think I could go out with Renee and feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Andrea? Would you like to go out with Andrea one more time?
I mean, look, now that everything's out in the open, I was going out with Andrea a couple times.
Okay.
Josh, don't do me like that.
Yeah, see, I could tell. I knew this guy was shady and rude. So,
This was a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a successful second date or
I
not.
don't think it is.
Dude, Renee is not fixing her trust issues right now. I'll tell you that.
I feel like modern dating has gotten so crazy lately. sometimes you just have to take a page out of the old 1950s dating book.
As a woman, I'm going to go with no on that one.
No, I'm saying just go back to the basics. Keep it simple.
Okay.
Take your
like
best
what?
gal to a movie. Split a cherry Coke.
Okay.
Do a little necking in the back row. Before you know it, you're going steady.
Oh.
Wow, going steady. I
Yeah.
haven't heard that in a
And you
long
got
time.
yourself a little housewife.
They're
Yeah.
easy, and that's what one of our listeners, Josh, did for his first date. He went old-fashioned, took his girl to a simple movie. Isn't that right, Josh?
Yeah, kinda.
What do you mean,
Oh,
kinda? How is that a kinda? Like you either went to the movies or you didn't?
We went together, but didn't go together.
Yeah, you're not being clear here.
Yeah, you went together, but you didn't?
Yeah, what do you?
Wait.
What's this girl's name first of all?
This girl's name is Renee.
Okay.
Okay. And what do you mean you and Renee kinda went together, but not really?
Well, like, long story short, we sat on opposite sides of the theater.
Why? Wait, were you on a date with her, or is this we're calling somebody you stalked for a couple hours at the movie theater?
And so I wore her skin the next day. No,
Whoa.
I'm joking, but this was like the weirdest date I've ever been on.
Okay.
All right.
So wait, where did you meet Renee? Sorry, before the movie theater.
I met her on a dating app.
Okay.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But she was, like, so hot.
Right.
And, you know, I don't want to sound shallow or whatever, but she was, like, out of my league.
No, congrats. We're all proud of you, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks, my dude.
I got you. I got you.
dude.
So what happened with the movies?
Well, when we matched, she messaged me. She was like, okay, we can hang out or whatever. I can get to know you, but I have really specific rules.
Oh.
Dude, only hot chicks
I
have
know.
specific rules.
I know, that's because they can. That's
As an
because they
ugly-
can. I never had any rules when I dated for some reason.
Women and their conditions. What were the rules?
Well, the first one, she was like, I don't get physical on the first date, and that has to be okay with you.
Of course.
I mean, that's an understandable rule. I thought there was going to be something crazy,
Yeah.
like you have to buy me steak dinner at a certain restaurant.
Actually, I think the girls that don't want to get physical on the first date are the most quality women that are
Oh,
holding
get
out.
out of here,
Oh, well,
Jeffrey.
come on. I wasn't saying that as a dig at you. I'm just
the
saying.
quality,
if
the
a-
ones that don't sleep around, the ones that don't like
They are
sex.
boring.
Oh,
No,
give
it's
me a
not
break.
boring.
All right,
it's just,
prude.
it shows that they know their own value and they're not going to give it up on the
No,
first date.
what, we were back to her rules. What were her other rules?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so she only had one other rule,
Okay.
and that was that we should see a movie, but we're not going to watch it in a traditional way. She was like, I'll meet you in the lobby. We'll share a snack for like 15 minutes or whatever and talk.
Okay.
And then when we go into the movie, we will sit on opposite sides of the theater.
What?
Why?
She said at the end of the movie, if you feel a connection before when we were talking, you walk to the center of the theater and we'll meet up and get a drink. And if not, then you just turn and go down the aisle and we don't have to see each other ever again.
So, but I don't understand. Like, why even do the movie? Why not just go get coffee and spend 15 minutes together and then decide if you want to date then? Like, what?
I don't know. I thought it was crazy, but I went through with it because I think it could have been worth it.
Okay.
Because she's hot.
Yeah, exactly.
So was it? Was it worth it?
No.
What happened?
Well, I met her and we like shared popcorn in the lobby. And I thought we had a connection. We were like laughing and we had a lot of the same interests and stuff.
All right.
It was great. And then like at one point she looks down at her phone and she's like, oh, the previews are about to start. I guess we should go in.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to miss those previews.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like before I could even say like, oh yeah, that sounds good, she was already up and walking away.
That's not a good sign. Did you? I mean, like, I would have been like, oh man, I blew it.
Yeah, well, part of me thought that, and then part of me was like, is this just part of the rules that I don't understand?
Maybe you were already hitting it off. She could feel she wanted to kiss you and she had to leave.
It does feel like some weird initiation into a club.
She's trying to be untouchable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely creates a mystique around her. Like she obviously doesn't just date any guy and let anything happen. So how did the movie part go?
Well, I couldn't even focus on the movie because where we ended up sitting, I could kind of see where she was at.
Okay.
But I just was like kept looking at her the whole time. I was like wondering what's going to happen at the end of this movie. I couldn't even have fun and like enjoy the movie.
Oh, I could totally see that. I mean, that'd be weird.
Yeah. What about her though? Like, what was she doing?
She didn't even look over once.
Oh, she didn't.
Oh, really?
Well,
No, not
she
a single
could
time.
Feel your eyes burning into the back of her skull, probably.
Yeah. So by the end of the movie, what happened?
So movie ends, credits start rolling.
Okay.
I kind of peek over. You know, the lights kind of come up in the theater, like halfway.
Yeah.
Everybody else is getting up and walking out. I'm looking over at her, and she hasn't even gotten up yet. The credits are. She's like reading the credits.
What were you doing? Was your heart just beating out of your chest?
Oh, it was going like 100 miles an hour, and then finally the final credits roll, and then she just walks right down the aisle and out of the theater.
Oh no!
No.
Yeah.
I mean, are you still interested in this chick? Because I think it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, Brooke.
I mean, my ego is not too big. I would definitely meet up with her again.
Okay. You'll take the abuse.
Yeah, what do you think you did wrong during the movie?
I mean, honestly, that's one of the reasons why I called, because I don't know what I did.
He couldn't have done anything wrong, really.
Yeah, but it
He
sounds
threw
like
something at her.
I mean, it sounds like this. Who knows with her, right? Like it could just be because she was just saying if there's a connection. I mean, what a vague thing to say.
But maybe it was a test where she wanted you to come up and break the rules.
Oh God!
Like a bad boy.
I'm going to tell you right now: stay away from women with tests. They're all crazy.
All women play games, Brooke.
You should definitely make sure that your women get tested before you go and hang out with them. I do not agree with that. But you know what? We're going to play a song. We'll come back. We'll call Renee for you, and we'll try and get you your second date. All right, man?
Thank you, guys.
All right, hold
Need LASIK? Trust the experienced team at the LASIK Center at Evergreen Eye Center. No glasses, no contacts, no limits. What will you do? LASIK at evergreen.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
You guys ever been on one of those dates that just kind of snowballs? Like, you go out for lunch or something, and then all of a sudden you're having dinner and drinks, and then that turns into, like, you're robbing banks, and then that turns into she's learning the signature of your grandmother so you can forge checks. I mean, just one thing snowballs into another. Just lots of activities. That's what I'm talking about. Well, that's the kind of date that Patrick went on his first date with a girl named Tanya, but now she's not calling him back, and it gets even crazier than anything I just said, I think.
What?
Yeah.
No.
What's up, Patrick? How are you?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Nothing like that happened, but
Are you sure you're not wanted in 5 states?
I am definitely sure of that.
Oh,
that's what all criminals say.
Your email about your date sounded not that crazy, but it sounded like you guys did a lot of stuff.
It was, I would say, in my entire life, this is probably the greatest date I've ever had.
Whoa. I can't wait to hear what you guys did.
Well, you guys don't know yet how many dates he's had. You know what I mean, Patrick? Like, you could have been on 2 dates, and then we'd be like, oh, so you had dinner and drinks. Okay. So, have you had a lot of good dates?
I've been on plenty of dates.
Okay, see? Where did you meet this dream girl that you went on this crazy date with?
I met her on a dating app.
Okay.
But we had talked, and we had planned to go rock climbing.
Oh, that's sweet. And are you a rock climber?
I'm athletic. I wouldn't say I'm like a rock, but I'm outdoorsy, I guess we'd have to say.
Cool.
All right. So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. You know, we had a good time. We went rock climbing, and then that escalated into we went to this little cafe and had some food.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had like a really good vibe, good connection.
Mm-hmm.
We started walking around. We went to this park, and we actually, as crazy as this sounds, we had like a cartoon drawing, like a characterist drawing of us.
Like a caricature dude at the park?
Yeah, like the guy drew pictures of our faces like on a park bench.
Doesn't sound that crazy, really, Patrick, but it is cool and fun.
But it was our first date. Like, usually don't do that kind of stuff on your first date. It just kind of flowed. Like, everything just flowed.
That's true.
I guess.
You know, and I don't know why you want to call her back. I mean, any girl that's willing to have her caricature drawn on her first date, I don't know, man.
Moving pretty fast.
Yeah.
But it's not really the point of, like, the crazy things we did, but it's just, like, I was almost giddy, like I had butterflies in my stomach. I was like, I felt really good. Like, it was a good day. Like, I was having fun.
And I will back you on the caricature thing because, like, that's something that's like a memento from your first date. Like, she's thinking she wants to remember this, and I assume that's why you guys sat down and did that together.
So if you guys do get her on the phone, like, don't say anything about the caricature because I, like, have it on my fridge and I look at it every day.
Yeah. I'll be sure to not mention that, Patrick.
That's cute. Patrick,
I
you're
guess-
cute. That's cute.
And a caricature is a big thing to get drawn on a first date because they always highlight your worst feature. And you don't want the other person to be like, oh, yeah, they do have a gigantic nose. Yeah. So did it end at the park in the drawing?
No, it didn't end. We went back to my place and just kind of chilled and hung out. And she actually, stayed over.
Oh, she did? Okay.
Wow.
I mean,
okay.
and did she stay in the same room as you, Patrick?
She may have, yeah.
All right.
Oh, you sly dog.
Yeah. So you guys basically spent the whole day and night together.
Yeah, so I was giddy and I couldn't sleep. So I woke up in the middle of the night and I was just looking at my emails and this the last minute travel deal came up.
Mm-hmm.
So I woke her up and was like, I'm going to book a trip to Mexico for next weekend, the following weekend.
Wow.
Just for you, or you invited her too?
No.
Were you just giving her that information?
I invited her.
Oh, okay. You were asking if she wanted to do that though.
I mean, come on. Of course I invited her. It wasn't for me.
Okay, I don't know. The way you said it just sounded like, hey, I'm booking a trip to Mexico, just so you know. All right, go back to sleep.
Well,
That's crazy. And she said yes?
She said yes, so I booked it. I charged it on my card. I paid for everything. And then we kept texting back and forth during the week. I was trying to catch up on work because we were going to leave for a long weekend.
Yeah.
And so we had plans to meet at the airport at a certain time. And so I got there, checked everything. I was waiting, 15 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Text her.
No.
What were you feeling?
Well, I had different kind of butterflies. So I was waiting, and there was last call to book the thing, and I was she wasn't getting in touch with me. I didn't know if maybe she was on the plane. I got on the plane, and I went on the weekend trip by myself.
Oh, man, that sucks.
And you haven't heard from her at all?
I've called her. I've texted her. I've looked at my caricature on the refrigerator with a sad face now.
Man.
Wow.
Do you think she maybe got, I don't know, did she get freaked out? Like it was too much commitment too fast?
Maybe she got nervous. I'm hoping you guys can find out for me so I can kind of figure out what I did wrong.
Yeah, you'd think that she could at least tell you, hey, the Mexico thing is kind of making me nervous, instead of just ditching you at the airport.
But maybe she felt really guilty because he had paid for it all and she didn't know how to tell him.
That's why I got in contact with you guys, and I'm hoping you guys can help me.
Me too. I hope this turns out to be a love story.
I just want to know why she ditched him at the airport. I don't really care what kind of story we get. But we will play a song and then come back and call her and get your second date update. All right, Patrick?
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Hold on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
All right, before we get into the second part of today's second date update, there's one very useful piece of information that I need to know. Patrick, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you at least have fun in Mexico by yourself?
Oh, sad Patrick.
Good question.
You know what? It was pretty sad because it was a couples thing. That was part of the thing. It was a couples. I just kind of stayed in my room and looked at my caricature photo.
Oh, Patrick.
Dude, you could have taken that caricature photo with you, wrapped it in some waterproof stuff, taken it on one of those banana rides or some parasailing with it.
The only people that were single were the cleaning people and the grounds people.
Oh, gosh, Patrick.
You had options then.
No.
Yeah, a 62-year-old lady that made my bed was kind of hot. Yeah, no thanks.
Well, there you go. You messed up. All right. If you're just tuning in for the second date update, Patrick is on the phone, and he met a girl named Tanya online. They had their first date, and they did a bunch of things. Rock climbing, walking around a park, getting a caricature done that he still has on his refrigerator. She actually stayed the night, and while she was staying there, he was so giddy that he booked them a trip to Mexico for the next weekend. Wow. She agreed to go, but then didn't show up at the airport, and now he's wondering why.
Oh, my gosh. How are you feeling right now? Because that's an insane story.
I'm a little nervous and excited, if that makes sense. I guess I want to find out what the hell happened, but I also, I don't know. I'm afraid she's going to say I was ugly or something. I don't know.
Okay,
she did all that with you, and then she was like, wait a second. I don't want to spend the weekend in Mexico with this guy. He's ugly.
You never know, man. Women are crazy.
Yeah, that's it, Patrick. She thought you were bad looking.
Well,
oh, my gosh.
I'm going to dial her phone number right now. Here we go.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Tanya, please?
This is?
Hey, Tanya, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Hi, I'm good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I was worried about you.
Okay. Who are you again?
My name is Jubal, and I host a radio show called Brooke and Jubal in the morning. There's three of us on the phone right now. There's me, there's Brooke,
Hey. Hi. How you
There's
doing?
Jose.
Hey.
Okay, hi everyone.
Hi,
Okay.
Tanya. And we have been so worried about you.
Why?
Well, because you missed a flight recently, and that's a big thing we do on our show. We have like a segment where it's like, did you miss your flight recently?
No.
We track people down and try to figure out why they missed their flight. It's kind of crazy.
So bad.
We're a kooky morning show.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So you were supposed to take a flight recently with a dude named Patrick to Mexico, and you just didn't show up.
How do you know that?
Know everything.
Just
And
tell
also, he emailed us.
Yeah, there you go.
Patrick told us about your first date and said that you guys had planned a trip to Mexico for the next weekend, but you left him at the airport.
Oh my God.
And if, I mean, that's a lot. Like, the whole story is pretty crazy. So maybe you were just feeling overwhelmed and you didn't know how to tell him. That's what I'm hoping for.
It just was just a really weird thing that happened with the airport, and it was just really weird.
You're on the no-fly list.
She got detained.
It's kind of really embarrassing. It's a mistake, an embarrassing mistake, and I just kind of leave it at that.
You peed your pants in the security line because you were scared.
What? Where do you come up with
That
this?
happens to me all the time.
That is so
It is
weird.
embarrassing, but it's okay.
I believe that.
No, that's not
They
it.
asked you to go through the security machine, and you took off your clothes and asked for a strip
Oh
search
my
instead.
God. Stop guessing.
It can be embarrassing, but I've done it too.
No, it's just, listen, it's 100% me. It had nothing to do with Patrick at all.
But what could be so embarrassing that you spend this amazing date with someone, agree to go on a long weekend to Mexico,
Oh my God.
and then ditch out of it all and like leave him high and dry?
It just, I went to the airport. I was very excited to go on this trip, and
You did.
Yes, yes, I went to the airport. I went and I checked in, had my stuff ready to go, and they asked for my passport, and I said, why? I mean, I have, my driver's license, and they're like, no, you need a passport, and I was like, why? I'm just going to Mexico, and they were like, yeah, you need a passport, and I truly had no idea that you need a passport to get into Mexico and Canada? Like,
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
I really know. I seriously thought it's all the same continent.
Welcome to the last 15 years of the world.
So you forgot your passport.
No, I didn't forget it. I don't have one. I don't travel a lot. So I didn't know. I seriously did not know. And I was mortified standing there, and I don't have a passport, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to tell Patrick that, how absolutely idiotic I felt. So
I do know how you can tell him, Tanya. I really do know how you can tell him.
How is he even going to believe me? I've been trying to figure it out, and I don't even know what to say.
Well, you kind of already did, because he's actually on the other line listening and wants to talk to you.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the phone.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so embarrassing.
Yeah, it's very embarrassing that you wouldn't call somebody and have the respect to at least let me know what's going on.
Oh,
Oh,
Patrick.
you're kind of mad, aren't you, Patrick?
Patrick, I am so sorry. I was so embarrassed in that moment, and I literally had no idea what to do, what to say. I felt so stupid that I didn't know this.
So, I mean, you could have told me. You didn't have to just blow me off. It's kind of crazy that you wouldn't even call or let me know. And then I went by myself.
I know.
To a couple's weekend by myself.
I know.
It's basically the worst trip to Mexico that I've ever taken. And I was there one time during El Nino.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Damn, Tanya, you're worse than El Nino.
Tanya, it is pretty weird that you were that embarrassed by a passport snafu.
Listen, I understand that it sounds crazy. I don't travel a lot. I don't know these things. I had no reason to know these things. And Patrick, the entire weekend that you were gone, knowing that you were there, I was drinking margaritas, sitting at home, thinking about you the entire time.
Well, it was good that you were thinking about me. All you had to do is send one text, make one phone call. That's it.
I am apologizing. I have taken 100% of the blame for this. If you were listening, as you were supposedly listening while I was talking this entire time to a bunch of radio DJs, I said that I would take 100% fault for this. I am sorry.
So, okay, I hear your apology on that, but now we have a whole other issue. I mean, what are you, 12 years old? You don't have a passport? You don't travel? I mean,
wait, that's still an issue.
I haven't had a reason to have one, Patrick. I didn't know.
Like, kids, like babies, come out of the wombs and get passports and travel all over. Your parents must have kept you locked in your basement.
You know what?
Like, what?
This right here is why I didn't tell you, okay? This is why I had no idea how to tell you, because I was worried that you were going to sit here and berate me for not knowing something. You could just be really nice and be a good guy.
It's not a matter of not knowing something. It's a matter of just having a brain to figure out. Like,
Whoa! Patrick, we know you're angry, but like I thought you really liked this girl, dude.
I did, but she doesn't have a passport. What kind of person doesn't have a passport?
There's lots of people that don't have passports.
No, there's not. I don't know anybody. Do you know anybody? I don't know anybody who doesn't have a passport.
Mine's almost expired. I might not have one soon.
Mine just expired, actually, so I technically don't have one either.
I have one, so.
You know, like, to get a passport, you go to the post office and take a picture and just mail it out, and they send it back to you. Like, it's not rocket science by any means.
Oh, man.
You know, I know what I'm supposed to do now. I can go and get one, and we can go on a trip together. We can do it the right way this time.
All right, well, Tanya, would you like to go out with Patrick on a second date? We can do dinner. We'll pay for dinner. If you guys want to go on a trip, that's on you. But if you get a passport, you'd be willing to go out with Patrick again?
Yes, it was my mistake. I would like to go on another date with Patrick.
Wow, I'm impressed. I mean, he said some mean things, so.
He's upset.
Patrick, do you want to go out with Tanya again?
I mean, somebody that can't call you back and is not responsive. And what person, again, does not have a passport? I would never go out with her again.
What? After she was your dream girl and you were obsessed with her, the passport's the breaking point.
My dream girl is gorgeous, nice, beautiful smile, and you know what? She has a passport.
Okay. All right, Patrick, we found your deal breaker, I guess.
My God.
You know what? Just forget the whole thing. Forget that I even said yes. You are not the person I thought you were. You're crazy.
I may be crazy, but at least I have a passport.
He does have a point. Important PSA today for the second date update. Everybody, make sure you go get your passport, everybody.
Oh, my God. Seriously.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Text in at 78592 says, Patrick is by far the biggest idiot you've ever had on the show. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
A bold statement.
Not according to Patrick. If you missed today's second date update, Patrick wanted to call Tanya. They went out on a date. He liked her so much that he actually booked a trip to Mexico for the two of them on a whim to try to be spontaneous. And he was all about her. He's like, I have a caricature drawing of her, and I look at it all the time, and she's amazing, and blah, blah, blah. And then we got her on the phone, and she said that the reason she ditched him at the airport and he had to go to Mexico by himself was because she got there and she didn't realize you needed a passport to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
And she was embarrassed by that.
Well,
and of course, you'd be embarrassed.
Right, but so embarrassed that you wouldn't call and tell him?
I don't know.
That's kind of weird. She said she felt so embarrassed that she didn't have a passport and didn't know that you needed a passport that she just didn't want to talk to him. But the worst part about it was that Patrick sort of freaked out at the fact that she doesn't have a passport.
Yeah, what?
All I can think is maybe he's just still really angry about having to go on a couple's retreat to Mexico by himself, and he's just blaming it on that.
I don't know. It sounded like he seriously thinks anybody without a passport, it's like a character flaw for him.
Yeah.
Like there's something wrong with you if you don't have a passport.
Some people don't need passports. I mean, I don't think I got a passport till I was in my 20s. Like,
Oh, are you serious?
well, okay,
Get out of the
that's to me
studio.
now.
Jeez, leave.
How do we hire
Gross.
him?
Yeah, I know. Seriously. It's amazing what deal breakers people have. Like, it sounds like for Patrick, a deal breaker for him is if somebody doesn't have a passport.
You know what's going to happen is that Patrick's passport is going to expire at some point, and he's not going to realize it, and he's going to, because that's how karma works. And he's going to show up to the airport, and they're going to be like, "Yeah, sir, you can't go on your trip. This is an expired passport."
And hopefully it'll be with a girl that he really likes. And then she's like, dude, you let your passport expire? You don't have a passport now? Gross. Wow. Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, and we will call the person who didn't call you back.
Moving 92.5.
And welcome back to our exciting news segment here at Brooke and Jubal in the morning. Are you frogging kidding me?
Oh, God.
With Hoppity, where we dive into the exciting world of everything that frogs have to offer and learn new facts. Are you frogging kidding me? They do what?
Gets me every time.
It is the second part of your second date. And why are we talking about frogs? Because Martin is on the phone. He actually prefers to be called Hoppity because he loves frogs. And he went out with a girl named Isabella. He said they had a great time. They did talk a lot about frogs, but he got a kiss at the end of the evening. And now he's not sure why she's not calling him back. So we are about to get her on the phone and see if we can figure it all out for you, Hoppity.
I just want to clarify. We talked a lot about frogs during the dinner, but, we talked about what she liked to do for fun, too.
Well, that's good. What was it? What is she like?
I can't remember.
Okay.
That's not good.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you were paying attention, Hoppity. I really feel like you really made this date all about you. Can you tone down the frogs if you guys do go out again?
I can, but, I just want to remind you guys, during the dinner, she seemed really excited about my two pet frogs in the pictures, so,
Yep.
I think she's really into them.
All right, well, we'll
Okay.
find out the truth here in a second.
Yep. I'll dial her phone number right now, and we'll see if we can figure it all out, okay?
Thank you.
Oh, the frog voice.
All right, stop doing the frog voice, Hoppity. In my opinion, I don't think you should do that when you get her on the phone.
I'm seconding that opinion.
Okay, guys, I'll lose the frog voice.
Okay.
All right. Just for now. After you guys have been dating for a little while, give her all the frog you want. But right now, dial it back on the frog a little bit. Here we go. I'm dialing her phone number.
Hello,
Hi, may I speak to Isabella?
this is Isabella.
Hey, Isabella, how are you? This is Jubal from the radio show Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Can you? I'm sorry.
Mhm.
You're from where?
Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. It's a radio show.
Okay. What do you want?
I want to
question.
know more about you, Isabella.
Is this a prank call or something?
No. We're not some cheesy radio show that does prank calls. Come on. Let's talk about it.
Isabella, yes, we are.
This is something we do called a second date. That's where if you go out on a date with somebody.
Oh, okay. I've heard those.
Okay, cool. Well, that's what this is. And Hoppity actually emailed us about you.
I don't know who Hoppity is.
What?
You don't know who Hoppity is?
No, remember he said he didn't
How do you
go
not
by
remember?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Frog guy?
You know Martin?
I know Martin, but I don't know. Why were you saying Hoppity?
Because I thought he told you that he goes by the name Hoppity, but apparently I was
No,
wrong.
he never told me that. He goes by the name Hoppity?
Yeah, it's his nickname apparently, because it shouldn't be a surprise to you that the dude likes frogs.
Oh God, yeah, that's definitely not a surprise.
Okay.
He told us that you were really excited about his frog passion.
When you're going out on dates, you kind of have the same old thing. So it was something that was different. It was fun. He had really cute names for his frogs.
Agreed.
He had one that was named Lollyhops, which is hilarious, and I forget the other one, but it was funny. And I actually kind of liked him in a certain way. He was kind of refreshing,
Okay, well, if
that's
it
so
was
positive.
refreshing, and he also told us that you guys kissed after the date, why aren't you getting back to him?
Well, after our date, I looked him up on Facebook, and I noticed that he put for work that he's a stay-at-home frog dad.
Oh no.
So I'm really at the point where I'm really seriously wanting to find someone and settle down, and it just didn't seem like he was focused. And it's okay to have a hobby, but I would like him to have a job.
All right.
Wait,
So
so-
does he have a job? Do you know?
he didn't talk. He only talked about frogs.
So you don't think it was a joke? You think that he's unemployed?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he doesn't work, and by the look of his pictures, it was literally just different frogs. So
Maybe the frogs are his
pictures
friends.
on his Facebook page you're talking about.
yeah, pictures of him with his frogs, like doing things.
Like doing what things?
There was one of them like cooking with them. There was one of him like playing his, I don't know, like games with them. I don't know. It just seems like those are his friends.
Just to be clear, the reason that you're not calling him back, is it the frogs or is it the fact that you think he doesn't have a job? Like, which one is most important to you? Just so we can tell him.
I mean, I think it's the job.
I feel like it's all of it. If I was you, it'd be like the whole package of that.
Well, I think he's quirky, and that's not a bad thing. It's refreshing, but I just want him to have more balance in his life, more, just a job, friends, and frogs.
You know what I've always wondered, Isabella, and I've never heard the answer to this.
What?
Because they do studies to find out how much housewives would make if they were getting paid. How much money should he be getting paid as a stay-at-home frog dad?
That's not a thing.
And I think we can get the answer because Martin is on the phone listening to this conversation and wants to talk to you.
He's on the phone right now?
Uh-huh, yep.
Oh, my God.
Martin?
Yeah. Hi, Isabella.
Martin.
Hi, Martin. Oh, this is awkward.
Yeah. You looked me up online?
Yeah. What is a stay-at-home frog dad?
I mean, I just have a passion for frogs. I thought stay-at-home frog dad was just kind of funny. That's why I said it.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't really know how much you heard, but I mean, when I saw that was kind of the thing that I just thought, oh, I had fun on our date, and the kiss was nice, but I'm looking for something more serious, and I don't know that I can build a future with somebody who's a stay-at-home frog dad.
Oh, but come on.
I mean,
So I just want to be clear. Is the reason you didn't pick up my calls or respond to any of my messages because you didn't think I have a job?
I mean, is that not true? I mean, do you have a job?
No.
You don't. Okay. Wait, hold on.
I know, I thought you were going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm a lawyer.
Are you like in between jobs or something, Martin? Are you looking?
No, not at all. I'm not looking for any work right now.
How are you eating?
Are you alive?
You're not killing your frogs and eating them, are you?
No, and that's not a really funny joke.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, sorry, Hoppity.
No, but Martin, really, like, what's your plan, man?
Well, here's the thing. A couple years ago, I made this app, and I sold it, and I made a whole bunch of money. And yeah, I don't have to work. That's why I don't have a job. I don't have to work for a while.
Oh, so you're just taking time off to hang with your frogs?
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, it's my passion. So now I actually have time to do it and take care of them.
Okay.
So wait, is that a change? I think you just changed your tone there, Isabella.
Well, I mean, Martin, I wish you would have, brought it up on the date. I had no idea that you even built apps. I didn't really learn anything except about your frogs. But I mean, had I known this, it would have, I don't know, I would have taken you more seriously, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to publicize all that information. I feel like it's kind of private. I mean, if you'd asked what I did for work, I would have told you the situation, but I don't like posting that on Facebook. I think it's kind of, I don't know, arrogant.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's arrogant to be like, oh, I created a cool app. It's not arrogant to go like, I love my frogs. I agree with you. I agree with you on that one, Hoppity.
Man. Okay, well, I feel kind of like an idiot.
How do you feel, I mean, Hoppity, are you mad at her for judging you, or do you understand where she was coming from?
I'm not mad. I guess I just wish she'd asked if it was that big a deal to her.
Yeah, that's true.
Instead of making her own judgments.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that you were so excited about your frogs, and it was so different for me that I actually genuinely liked hearing about your frogs, and so I think we spent most of the time talking about that. So, but after the date, I did want to know more about you, and
Well, I'm really glad to hear you say that, Isabella, because anyone that's going to be a part of my life has to, like my frogs, and my frogs have to like them. If that weren't the case, it might be a bit of a deal breaker.
Well, at least we got that very important thing taken care of. That you're appreciative of his frogs. Isabella, would you like to go out with Martin on a second date? We will pay for it.
Yeah, I would.
I will say she has from the start said the frogs are fine.
That's true.
And you even did the frog voice on a voicemail to her, and she was still okay with that.
Yeah, no, actually, I thought that was kind of cute. I laughed. I listened to it twice.
Hey, good.
Listen to it twice.
Hey, Martin, this would be the time. Remember we told you to dial back on the frog voice? This would be the time to throw it in there.
Yeah.
You like the frog voice?
It sounds nothing like
Oh my God.
You're silly. Hop along. What is your name? What is your name?
Hoppity?
Hoppity. Okay, Hoppity.
Hey, I like it when you say my nickname. That kind of makes me feel good.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. I am
so weird.
I'm getting way too turned on by the second date, so we have to end this right now. Congratulations to both of you guys for getting another date. Yeah.
Well, guys, I never told you officially whether or not I'd go out on another date with her.
Oh,
yeah.
Good point.
that's a
Yeah,
good
you didn't.
point.
I was assuming. So will you go out with her again?
Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right.
I think this is a match made in heaven.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations, you guys. I'm a little confused by the email that we got in for a second date today. It's from a dude that says he went out on a date and everything went well. And even at the end of the date, he asked if he could have a kiss, and she said yes.
Ooh,
Okay, that sounds all really successful.
The thing is, he never said if they did kiss. He just said she said yes. So I don't know if they didn't actually kiss and that was that was enough for him. I'm not sure. But his name is Martin and he's on the phone. What's up, Martin?
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Can I call you Marty? Call you Marty.
Actually, I'd prefer if you guys called me Hoppity.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Hoppity.
That was not what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Hoppity.
is that
Okay.
your nickname?
It is. I like frogs. I'm a lover of all things having to do with frogs.
Huh.
So yeah, all my friends call me Hoppity.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, you
so-
sound very interesting, Hoppity.
Does
I feel like I'd like to go on a date with you to get to know you better and learn more about frogs.
Yeah, frogs are great.
So why the obsession with frogs?
Ever since I was a kid, I've just been fascinated with them.
Okay.
There's over 600 different species. They're great pets.
Okay.
Really?
Would you like to do a second date, or would you like to just switch this over to a frog segment?
I'm kind of intrigued.
All about frogs with Hoppity. We could add that to the program if you want.
I think I'd like to continue with the second date, but if you guys ever want to talk about frogs...
Okay. We'll keep that in mind. So
Frog expert.
let's talk about your date then, Hoppity. What's her name?
Her name was Isabella.
Isabella. And is she a human or a frog?
Yeah, definitely not a frog. She's a human.
Okay.
Okay, and how did you meet Isabella?
A friend of mine actually introduced us. A friend of a friend, really. We went to school together, and she thought we might hit it off.
And it sounds like you did. From what Jubal said, the date went swimmingly.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's a pun, isn't it?
That's a frog joke there. Some frogs swim, I hear. Yeah. I don't know.
Frog swim, yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, your email did say that everything went well and you asked for a kiss, but you never clarified if you got a kiss.
Oh, I did. I did get a kiss, actually.
Okay.
And how was it? What was it like?
It was great. I was a little worried that maybe she was a little over the fact that we were just talking about frogs the whole time, but...
Wait, that didn't really happen, did it? You didn't talk about frogs the whole time?
Actually, we kind of did.
Hoppity.
Well, I didn't want to bring up the frog thing too soon because, I was worried that might, put her off a little bit and she might think I was weird or something. But, yeah, she seemed pretty interested. So, early on in the date, I pulled out my phone and I showed her some photos.
Of what?
Of my two pet frogs.
Oh, good.
Oh, sweet. You have two pet frogs. What are their names?
Okay.
Their names are Lollyhops and Webster McRibbit.
Okay, that is adorable. I'm sorry.
I like
That is so
lollyhops.
cute.
Yeah. All right.
But the thing is if you talked about frogs the whole time, that means that you were asking her questions about herself.
Well, I mean, I don't know. She seemed pretty interested. I mean, I asked a few things about her, and I think learned a little bit, but she just kind of kept on with the conversation. I mean, she loved my pet. I mean, especially McRibbit. I mean, he's a dwarf frog.
All right.
A
You sound,
dwarf frog?
hey,
How
Hoppy,
cute.
you sound like a proud parent of these two frogs, and that's good. But sometimes proud parents don't realize when people actually don't want to hear about it. So do you think that maybe you were just assuming that she wanted to see more pictures of lollipops and McRibbit?
I mean, I hope not. She seemed genuinely interested, and
Okay.
she even let me kiss her at the end of the night. So I think that was a sign that, she wasn't put off by my frog passion.
Okay, can I just ask, did you make any reference to the kiss about you being a frog that turns into a prince?
I mean, it's funny you asked that. Before I kissed her, I asked her, do you want to let this slimy frog kiss a real-life princess?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, Hoppity.
You did it.
Yeah.
I did.
All right.
I feel like it's not the first time you've done that either.
I wouldn't tell you if I did.
Okay.
So why do you think that she's not calling you back then? If she was interested in the frogs and she kissed you and everything,
Even after that
what's
line.
the problem?
I don't know. I mean, I've been calling her all week. I've left her 3 voicemails. I even left her one message in a frog voice because I think girls love a guy with a sense of humor. But I don't know.
Is that your frog voice?
Is that it?
Yeah, that's my frog voice.
Ah, all right.
Wow, Hoppity. I thought
like
it'd
it.
be like more refined for some
Very-
reason.
Rat sounds like a smoker frog, like a frog that has smoked a few packs of cigarettes. Well, here's what we're going to do,
Whoa.
Hoppity. We'll play a song, and then we'll come back, call her, and get your second date, okay?
Okay, that sounds great.
Oh my gosh. Hoppity.
Love it,
Do
dude.
not laugh at that, Jose.
Keep that going when we
Oh
come
my
back,
gosh.
okay? Hang on.